Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Knowledge Broker podcast. Once again, do not get too excited. We are not back yet for the official season 2, but we have a very special treat for you in the meantime. For the next 8 episodes, we are going to be breaking down some specific real estate elements. So these are going to be our next mini episodes, as we may call them, for the Knowledge Broker podcast. And like I said, breaking down some real estate. And the reason why we're doing this is because I don't know much about real estate. And guarantee there's people out there who also don't know much about real estate. So it only makes sense that while we're in the presence of someone who knows about real estate, aka Josh, that we do a podcast like this to kind of break down some little key elements of real estate that you may or may not know. Are you excited for this, Josh?
Yes, ready.
Yes. So Josh is an expert, considering he is a real estate agent, so therefore, by nature, expert. So a lot of pressure on you for these next 8 episodes to bring your A game.
Okay.
Because I can't carry us. I can't provide any knowledge.
Just poke.
Yes, exactly. I am here to just poke at the expert until we get all the information out that we possibly need.
Okay.
So this week's episode is, what is real estate? It's a nice, big, open, vague question. So let's be serious. What is real estate?
I guess I have a couple of answers for that. The first one is real estate in a physical structure is homes. Homes, condos, cottages, land, buildings, whatever else you want to call it.
So, 4 walls and a roof.
Sure. Something that has value that to people out there that want to buy and sell it for the purpose of potentially moving into it for their own family home or renting it out for investment or building on it or for their own business, etc. So in a physical sense, real estate is that.
Yeah.
On an emotional sense, when people say like, hey, Josh, what do you do? And people would say, oh, he works in real estate. And it's funny how like it's such a vague thing to say he works in real estate.
Yeah, because like I technically work in real estate.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, what does that really mean? But I think that there's a connotation. People think that when you work in real estate, oh, you must be a real estate sales rep or a realtor, even though there's hundreds of thousands of other jobs out there that are in the real estate industry.
Yeah.
So
what is real estate?
Yeah, in that sense, it's more of like we're very much the people on the ground that do all of the sales for these homes, the land, the buildings that we just discussed.
The transactions. Basically.
Exactly. So you would think of yourself, in essence, we know what's going on in the marketplace so that people understand what to buy properties for. We are the ones that connect them with...
So now you're kind of getting into like, what's a realtor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm referring to when people say, what's real estate? Or you work in real estate.
Yeah.
I guess my role is the realtor side. Your side would be the marketing side.
Exactly.
So, I mean, in essence, we're still selling those things that we talked about at the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's
so it's the transactions of the land, property, things of
for the
high
most
value.
part. We do a lot of consulting too, property management, renting out properties, etc. So I mean, it's a huge, wide array, and it's a huge question to answer.
Yeah, well, hence why we started with it. So now that we've got our huge idea of what real estate is, we can nitpick at what the little aspects of it. So like I said, you kind of started going into like, what is a realtor? What is a real estate agent? Here's a great question. What's the difference
between
a realtor and just a real estate agent?
No difference. A realtor is the term that they actually is owned by the company or an organization in the United States and in Canada. Realtor.com, which is I can't remember if it's the United States Association of Realtors, but they own the term realtor. It's their brand.
Yeah.
In Canada, it's the Canadian Real Estate Association, CREA, that own the brand realtor in Canada. So it's a trademark that's owned by that company. So in essence, we're technically not even supposed to call ourselves realtor because that's their trademark.
Yeah.
So their trademark is realtor, and that's why they have realtor.ca. When they do their marketing, they say work with a realtor. That's all about their branding. So yeah, on a license basis, which I'm governed by the Ontario licensing, we have 2 different forms of licenses in Ontario. One is called a sales representative, and you're only supposed to use the word sales representative, not even salesperson. They prefer sales representative, and then broker. And if you're the only difference between them is that you ultimately with broker you take more courses, and it's an escalated level where you can actually have the opportunity to own and run brokerages.
Interesting. Because I always see that every now and again. Like I'll see someone who works for like Coldwell Banker and it'll say like realtor next to their name.
Sure.
And then you look at someone else and it doesn't. So they're actually like using someone else's trademark for the different company.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, we sometimes do it because people refer to a realtor.
Yeah.
If it says sales representative, they're like, oh, what kind? Like, do you sell cars? Do you sell houses? Do you sell...
That's vague too.
Who knows? Sure. So realtor is very strong.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's not even ours to use.
That is fascinating. Look at what I learned. I've literally been holding on to that question for so long, but I thought it was such a stupid thing. It's not.
Not at all.
Okay, so how... I know there's a lot of talk about in real estate about like almost not even needing a realtor or a real estate agent anymore. Being able to look online, find houses, do these transactions without a real estate agent. Is that something that is coming up in the future? Like, will there one day not be real estate agents?
It's a really good question. I think that the value of a real estate agent is still very much in the boots on the ground. Like, we're literally the ones that are doing all the running around work. So in addition to like being consultants, for instance, I sold a house on the weekend. The house that we found was the house of their dreams. We have to get their house on the market within a week. So in 1 week's time, I have to get their entire house ready to be ready for the marketplace. Have to have all the photos and everything done to be ready for the marketplace. Also control the entire purchase of the house that they've just put an offer on in regards to doing the home inspection, arranging to have all the financing done, doing all these things in 5 business days. Most people don't have time for these things in their everyday life, especially when it comes to like their dream home, because if they see it, usually it's when it's completely unexpected. Then all of a sudden it's go time. When it comes to go time, there's a lot of people that just they can't take a week off work, 2 weeks off work, and if they do, are they going to do things to the degree of the expertise of people like myself who have been doing it for years, where we know what to do very quickly, get the process done, tried and true. We're not going out there testing new photography companies, not going out there and testing new lawyers. We know who to go to make the thing as easy as possible.
So in the long run, then it's pretty, I guess, silly to think that we don't need real estate agents. No,
I think that I've toyed with the question in my head many a times. There's always been this ability for people to go out and buy their own houses. That's never not existed. People can go out and buy their own properties. They still do. If they're living at a cottage or a house and all of a sudden the next door neighbor says, hey, I'm thinking about selling. There's a lot of private transactions that go on in this world. Typically, if someone wants to get top dollar, they do go through a real estate agent because it just hits the wide market to the point that also they're given the highest expertise and the highest quality product when it hits the market. So private sales typically do sell for a lot less. So if people want to make more money, they typically go with a realtor.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So in the one thing that I've noticed a lot about real estate is it's moving into a very heavily marketing kind of world. I mean, there's lots of advertisements on the radio. I hear them all the time for these big real estate companies who don't use like, we've got a great process, we'll get your house sold in like these days and this time. It's, we've got a huge marketing plan.
Sure.
So how is marketing kind of transforming the real estate world?
Marketing's always been a huge component, but it's definitely getting wider and because of digital. That being said, oddly enough, I don't do the marketing. You do the marketing. So when we think about how marketing's changing, marketing's an added component to real estate. I don't do the marketing. We work together as a team, but ultimately my expertise is to work directly with the client to find out every single one of their needs, all their goals, make sure it all comes together. It's almost like I have to run the orchestra. The marketing is definitely a component of it, and it's getting far bigger than it ever has been, which is fantastic because it gives us the opportunity to really show people what their houses are and tell the story about their homes and increase the value of them. It also gives us the opportunity to tell people more about real estate like we're doing right now. So, I mean, marketing is definitely a huge component, but oddly enough, it is not necessarily all of real estate.
So is it kind of becoming a tool to like leverage your real estate platform? Because obviously within real estate, you could be, there could be like 80 people who work for Coldwell Banker.
Sure.
What makes those 80 people or one of those people in that crowd stand out?
Marketing's, I think it's the leading edge stuff. If you're in marketing and you're doing a lot of marketing, you're typically watching what other people are doing. You're learning from other places around the world. You're also learning from your own. I think that if you're doing marketing to a very good extent, you're constantly on the forefront and you're able to offer that same marketing component to your clients. So it's not necessarily about, as for instance with us, with Knowledge Broker, when we learn about marketing, we're applying the exact same techniques to all of our clients.
Yeah.
So the neat thing is we're raising our game, but it also allows our clients to have even higher game than us.
Yes, because of course, if they did it by themselves, who knows if they would have any of that information. They can't learn from past transactions.
And if you're working with real estate agents that aren't doing a lot of marketing, how do they understand to market your home if they don't even know how to market themselves?
Oh, so true. Very true. So in that case, do you think like the whole idea of real estate, obviously it's an idea that will never die. People will constantly be buying homes, selling homes.
Sure.
We've talked about like that real estate as real estate agents it's not going anywhere. People still need the transactions.
Right.
But what is the path for the industry? Like, where are we heading into it next? Like I said, a lot of people are looking online to just do the transactions online without even having a realtor or a real estate agent. But what else are we expecting?
There's a lot of movements towards tech. And people ultimately, this is where the movement is for a lot of industry. I believe that real estate agents, in regards to their expertise, it's got to continue to go up. And their expertise doesn't necessarily just grow in regards to how to finish their house and how to get it ready for sale. Their expertise is growing outside of that.
Yeah.
So we talked about marketing. Their marketing expertise has got to go up. When they talk about even how to build and construct new homes and understand what's going on with the newest technology of actually the construction, you got to expand that. So when we think about where things are going in the tech side, we see some augmented reality, some virtual reality creeping in slowly. I'd be surprised if anybody in this world will ever go on, unless they're doing a complete investment property from one country to another, maybe, that they would use virtual reality. And to this day, when people go to buy homes, they still want to touch them. They go into these houses and they actually, because it's more than just the home. It's the feeling. Exactly. Yeah. The feeling that they get when they get in there, and the feeling that they get when they look at the property around it, and the feeling they get in the neighborhood and then the town. So it's very much as much as technology is starting to come in, it'll never replace. It's just becoming an added tool. So for instance, if you're going to buy a place in Costa Rica, perhaps I can set you up with a real estate agent that uses virtual reality so you can actually feel like you're in the home. But I guarantee you won't purchase it unless you go down there.
Oh, I probably wouldn't. I'm all about I gotta be in the zone, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I feel like that's kind of it's a pretty good summary of where we're going. I think also, just to add, I feel knowledge is becoming far more important. I don't mean to insult in any way, but for a long time I feel like real estate was like, if you said, "Oh, I'm a real estate agent," people would be like, but are you a good one? You know, like it seemed like a job that like any schmuck could do.
100%.
But I'm really happy because like articles I'm reading and like things that I'm learning is that it's not for any schmuck off the street who can't get a job doing anything. It's like being a real estate agent is becoming more of a job that's like, no, you need to have knowledge in like 8 different fields. It's not just about buying and selling. It's about having the knowledge to say, you know, you should go to this cabinetry guy because he does this, this, and this, and this. Or, you know, this archway in your house will be effective for this reason and this reason. Like, it's so much, like, vaster. Yeah. That's a word.
More vast.
More vast than it has ever been, which is amazing because now people are actually starting to realize, I don't want a real estate agent who just did 2 years. Like, I'd like a real estate agent who did courses online.
Still continues to do courses, learning constantly.
Completely learning. So I think that's also a definite way it's heading is people want knowledge and they want to make sure that their real estate agent is knowledgeable, not just in the way of being personal, like being a salesperson. Like,
it's not enough.
It's not enough anymore, which I think is really cool.
I don't know about you, but if I'm going to go to a lawyer and he's going to represent me for a case, I don't want to go to some guy that's just really nice.
Yeah, right. He just
and
he's
nice
just been doing it for 50 years.
Nice is a great component. It's a factor. I want to work with someone that I get along with, but at the same time, I want to go with the person that knows everything.
Yeah, who has the university education, has education
further and lots of experience.
Yes,
because they know how things can work. It's funny how having lots of experience is almost like an artist. I can see when things are going to start to go wrong in real estate, and having the experience that I have, I know how to detour around them. Or maybe even stay away from them completely. And if things do go wrong, I also have the solutions to fix them. So that all goes with expertise.
Definitely. Okay. Well, anyway, that's it for our first mini episode.
That was fun.
It was nice and quick. I loved it.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, you can be able to check these out, like I said, every Tuesday, like we were before. But again, these are just our little mini episodes to tide you over until the next season of Knowledge Broker Podcast comes out.
Cool.
So until next time.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye. Thank you very much for stopping by our channel. If you have any questions or if you're looking to buy or sell, go to our website and contact us today. Knowledge is power and creates experts in understanding. If you want power, hit thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our channel so you can get weekly videos from me, your knowledge broker.